Hi, Ate Michelle. How are you doing?
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. Wait, where are you now? Are you in the Philippines or Canada?
Canada. Hi.
Hello, guys. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Isabel.
Hi.
Hi.
Michelle,
We're
you look exactly the same as 25 years ago.
You too. Is it just us?
Juris and Margaret is at the backstage, I think.
Oh, okay.
So there'll be four of you.
mm.
Okay.
Where are you now, Tito Edgar?
Right now, I'm at the City Hall.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Smart.
It's
It's
an
been a
open
while.
air. Yeah, it's been a while. It's about almost 6 months now.
Wow.
So, Michelle, what have you been doing?
Long
Are
time has
you
passed.
working?
Yeah, I'm working. I'm working for Samsung. I've been working
Yeah.
there for almost 10 years now.
I mean, in this pandemic time, are you working at home or at the
I
office?
am. I am. I'm working at home, so I'm nice and safe, healthy.
Hmm.
How about you, Isabel? What have you been up to?
Yeah, I've been staying home. Well, yeah, I've been home most of the time since March. Yeah, and then now I'm just waiting for school to start in 3
Are you
weeks.
going back physically or you're going to be online?
Everything's online.
Hi.
Hi.
Greece.
There's
Hi.
Juris.
Hi.
So just one more. This is nice.
We used to have a radio program, but because of the COVID, we have to stop it.
Yeah.
Now we're doing it on Facebook.
Yeah, you have to adapt.
Okay, Juris, meet Michelle.
Hi, Michelle.
Hi.
Reese. Hi, Will.
So what have you been up to lately?
Currently, I've just been working from home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a huge privilege that I get to work from home.
You've been doing that since March?
Since April.
Since April?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I've
Sorry.
actually
Sorry.
I've actually been working at home for the last 4 years.
Oh wow. So
Yeah. So no change. It's just now can't really travel because the borders are closed.
oh yeah. Yeah, that's one thing I miss is traveling.
Mm-hmm. Where was the last place you went to?
Um. Oh, I went to Mexico with my family in December. So right before the lockdown. How about you?
I think mine was for work. The last place I went to was in New York.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that was in February.
That's
Did you go
awesome.
anywhere, Isabel?
Before the pandemic,
Yeah.
I went to California, but that
Oh,
was
Oh,
nice.
during
yeah.
winter break. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was nice. Your pictures are so nice.
Thank you.
How about you, Titi Edgar? Have you traveled?
The last time I traveled was for the Miss Asia Pacific in October in Manila.
Oh, you
Yeah.
made it
I was there
Hmm.
here.
Yeah, I was home in August.
Oh, in August.
Nothing, yeah, nothing was happening yet. I came to pick up my dad, and now he's stuck here.
Yeah, it's hard,
Yeah, I can't go home.
especially for the senior citizens like us.
Mm. So, are we waiting for one more? Or are we? Hey, here we are.
There she is.
Hey,
Hi
hi.
guys. I need to charge my laptop. Oh my god.
I know my laptop was, I haven't used it in so long. So, like, my laptop was literally dead when I opened it.
She said she's graduated.
I know. I
Lucky
literally haven't
bum.
used it since like April.
Wow. Wow.
I think
So we
you
were
should
just catching up.
introduce. Yeah, introduce
Pardon?
yourself. Starting
Me?
with Isabel. We
Isabel
start
first,
with
yes.
Isabel. Yeah.
Okay.
Hello, I'm Isabel Napiza, and I competed in Mutia Pilipinas, representing East Coast last year, 2019.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, your placement.
Your placement at Mucha. You were top 10, right? At Mucha.
Oh yes, I was
Ooh.
Yes.
top 10. I think
Yay.
top 12. Top 12.
Oh, top 12.
That's still
Okay.
so
Oh,
amazing.
that's so good.
That's so amazing.
Wow.
Yes.
What was it like?
What was it like? My experience there? Well, it was my second pageant, but it was my first big one. So it was, of course, new and different to me, and I don't do pageants normally. In the same time, it was challenging, but I embraced it because I actually learned a lot from there. And that's because of discipline. I have to wake up early in the morning after short time of sleep, after sleeping so short, and then I'm always on the go, and I always have to, like, pay attention to the coordinators, the directors, the management, and the choreographers, especially on our way to the pageant portion of the whole Mutia program. And other than that, I also learned responsibility because I was alone most of the time. Like, I have to make sure everything is with me, and I have to arrive in a certain place on time. Otherwise, I wouldn't be where I was, and trusting people on time. But overall, my experience there in Mutia was very exciting and very experiential because not a lot of girls join pageants. And I am proud that I am among the pageant.
Very nice.
Who's gonna be next?
After Michelle. Or after
Yeah,
Julius.
sure. I've actually so I was in Muchana, Pilipinas in 1994, and then I went to the Philippines in 95. So I guess it's been like 26 years, but it was really a great experience if I think about it now because I'm working and I obviously, I'm married, I have two children. Going there, like I was born in Canada, so there wasn't really a lot of things that I knew about the Philippines, and preparing for joining the pageant was kind of an eye opener for me. So I did a lot of reading. I did a lot of just learning a little bit more about our history and making sure that, yung Tagalog ko talagang fluent, and just making sure that I could represent the Filipino Canadians well. Because think about it, 26 years ago, it's very different times, right? So now Edgar's really sent a lot of people back home. But, when you're not a native Filipino, it was kind of difficult for me. And I wanted to make sure that I was really considered as someone that can really represent Mucha. So that was really important. So I had a very different mindset when I went. I looked at it as a job, really taking advantage of the opportunity to gain experience So it's same as you. You know, I had two chaperones. I had someone that was doing my makeup, my hair, someone telling me how to dress every day, where I was going. They actually told me what to eat. I was weighed in every day.
Oh
So
wow.
it was really, really rigid back then, really committed. So I was really focused. I did a lot of interviews, a lot of, because I won Miss Talent back home in Wucha. So I had to do a lot of, doing a lot of shows in malls and wherever they really wanted me to do it. I did a lot of going on parades and commercials and stuff. Went to visit a lot of orphanages, which is kind of nice and humbling, especially since we all live here in Canada. It's really humbling to kind of go back home and see how other people live. So that was a great experience for me. And I think, joining the pageant is something that was really great because it enabled me to, like you said, have discipline and have the leadership, public speaking, communication skills, not really being scared to talk to other people, especially with different titles and different jobs. So it's really helped me in the way that I've kind of grown my career. And if I look at the companies that I work for now, they're all major brands. I worked for GE, I worked for Siemens, I worked for Samsung. So I've kind of stayed true to being really focused and disciplined and how do I market myself? And that all started from joining Wicha.
Wow.
Wow.
Growth from the beginning.
Wow. I don't want to introduce myself anymore.
I mean, if you really take the experiences that you have and utilize it for your future, it's one of those lifelong lessons that you can have, right? Because speaking in front of people, walking into a room, branding yourself, marketing yourself, communicating with people you don't even know at a drop of a dime, attending parties or networking with people you have no idea, you've never met before. Those are all things that you can take with you forever. So now I have no problem going to a wedding by myself. I have no problem going to a party by myself. I have no problem entering a bar by myself because I've just had so much practice.
That's amazing. It's like
Right?
a skill you never lose.
You never lose it. So just, take advantage of it. You've started your journey now. So you can keep going.
Yeah,
That's
well,
probably the biggest thing I've taken away is just looking at myself as a brand.
Wow. That's a good point of view, like perspective on how you see it. Because you have your own physical and your own mental state that you work on like the inside because you have like an audience watching. And it's important to stay humble in that sense. But also like this is how I represent myself. And for you ladies back then it was like a whole country.
Yeah.
And especially yourself. That's number one.
I think too is there are things you're gonna go through when you get older and you're so tired. Like you said, sometimes you go to sleep really late and you gotta wake up early and you have a busy schedule. So finding that energy from within you is also something that that's like a skill, right? So now that I'm working and I have family, especially when my kids were a lot younger, you're super tired from work and you still got to take care of the kids. But it's kind of like when you're in the pageant days, right? You sleep late, you get up early, you got to go, go, go. You just have to kind of find that within you. So that's another thing that you kind of take with you as a life skill.
That self-motivation, you would say.
Yeah.
Wow. Waking up early, that might be my problem. Oh my gosh.
Literally.
Therese, your turn.
Oh my goodness. How can I go after that? I feel like I don't know what to say. But yeah, just to relay off of that, Isabel and Michelle, I can definitely relate to both of your experiences. For me, oh, by the way, I'm Therese Incarnation. I competed for Mutia and I represented Canada in 2016. yeah, it was an amazing experience. It was my second pageant ever joining, and the first pageant I've joined was only a local pageant in Toronto, and so this was like the first time I actually traveled like by myself, and actually was kind of independent. I mean, obviously I had chaperones and like people to cook for me, and we ate every day, whatever. But yeah, it was the first time I was ever alone and like depending on myself. But I totally agree with what both of you said. Honestly, I wasn't the most confident person before Mutya, but yeah, like it helped me with my interpersonal skills and like I can communicate a lot better now compared to before 2016. Yeah, and honestly, it's like the whole experience has given me so many skills, like networking skills, speaking skills, walking skills, like just overall like confidence. I I think if I never joined that pageant, like I wouldn't have the personality um, or like I wouldn't be who I am today without that pageant, basically. And yeah, and it honestly just taught me how to, yeah, like networking was a huge thing for me. And yeah, like I'm still friends with a lot of the girls from how long, like 4 years ago, which is amazing. And yeah, like sometimes we'll like comment on each other's photos on Instagram or like on Facebook. And yeah, so honestly, I've gained so many friends from that experience, and it honestly helped me actually give me skills to actually become more outgoing, and I've made friends because of the confidence it gave me, if that makes sense. And yeah, so honestly, it was definitely an experience. It was hard. Don't get me wrong. Like, I think I've joined a few other pageants after Mutya, and I believe that Mutya was the like hardest pageant.
Oh my
Like
gosh.
like physically, emotionally, mentally, like it was a challenge. Like the whole, like it was, how long was it? 6 weeks. Like that it's a pretty long pageant, and you're waking up every day at like 3, 4 a.m. and then going to bed at 12. Yeah, but honestly, I loved it. I mean, I cried almost every day, but I loved it. I loved it. I loved Mutya, honestly. And not to brag, but I did win Miss Friendship.
Yes,
Yeah,
That's always
rightfully
nice.
so.
I didn't win that
it was
one.
a huge honor to like have all 30 girls like basically tell me I'm super friendly.
You are. That's so
Yeah,
sweet.
I'm not really
How
sure.
was yours, Margaret?
Oh, I haven't gone. I was supposed to go this year.
Oh,
So yes,
my
I had.
God.
Man.
What happened now?
So I think it was probably back in April, or I think just the beginning of like COVID lockdowns. I was told that it would be sometime around August, like end of August. So basically now August to September. And my only worry was like, oh no, it's probably gonna run into school. It's okay. It's just a few days. But of course, it had to be fully shut down because it would be hard to bring in international beauties and to I know because you guys said it was 6 weeks, and I know for sure you guys had to travel around the Philippines. So even then, I know from my family back in the Philippines that each of the provinces or each of the cities have their own like lockdowns, very strict. So I had a feeling that it wouldn't continue through. But I've heard from Tito Edgar that there are some events happening with the candidates that we can do online. So I'm excited for that. Of course, it won't be the same experience, but I mean, this is like the new normal now. But like, I'm living off of you guys right now. It's like, oh, 6 weeks, Palawan, going here and there.
It's another challenge,
Right? Yeah, like that's a good way to see it too, instead of like seeing it as a bummer. It's something that is new and it's different, and just like I have to embrace it and see where it could take me.
Are they pushing everything out to 2021 then?
I think so. I for sure would have to wait for official statements, but as of now, I know that there are some fundraisers for Philippine General Hospital that I don't know too much about, but like I'm always interested to learn about because I know for sure the contrast between Canada and the Philippines with the COVID pandemic is very scary, especially with our population difference and land surface area with how compact they are back there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Okay.
And here we're like sharing our experiences.
I'm like living for it. It's okay. But it's so nice to see everyone's growth with it because it's like I look up to you guys. Oh my gosh, at the Michelle, I was looking at your PDF. I'm like, oh my gosh, 9 years here. It's like the official names. I'm like, to get to that point, you definitely have to go through your own hardships and your own like personal growth. I know for sure you too, Jerisa and Isabel, like it's definitely like a hard journey, but just seeing you guys and see how you guys prevail, it's like I want to go through that too. It's just I'm gonna learn from you guys, which I
hope you get to really experience it and even get a mix of like in person and online for now because it's such a great experience. I wouldn't trade it for the world. I mean, honestly, I think it was a really hard year for me when I was actually going through it. But then, after the fact, you're kind of like, okay, what can I kind of take out of this? But I think that was the biggest thing. Is just I learned so much. I mean, I learned how to do my own makeup. I learned how to do my hair. I learned how to dress myself. I learned how to walk in heels.
It's like all at once.
Like all of that, right? So it's just I learned so much about my country when just reading about the history and current events. It's such a great experience. So I hope you do get a chance to experience that too. Have you been back home, Margaret?
I have back in I went there for Christmas and New Year's from 2018 to 2019. So it was that transition. It was the best time of my life. I think it was only like 4 weeks. Like, please, I don't want to go back to school.
I know, it's always
it was so fun. Yeah, it always feels like that. And Pardon?
When are you supposed to go back to school?
That was I think back to school in January for university. I was entering second term of first year. So it was like right off the plane. It's like just get home, get your stuff, and then go to school. And I think that was not final season, but I just know that it was just it was too short. And that's what I was like super excited about. I told my cousins back then, I was like, I'm gonna go to the Philippines, guys. I'm gonna see you guys again. Just wait a few months. And now it's like almost a year and a little bit. But yes, I still see them, or I still see them like on calls here and there and Messenger, which is nice, but it's not the same. But I was gonna ask you guys, how old were each of you when you joined Mutya? I think that's important in your growth.
18.
Remember you? 18. Okay.
I was
were
the
you
youngest one.
the youngest? Oh my god, that's stressful. All that pressure on you. But you carried that. Look at 12, a top 12 out of how many?
There were like
41.
here, right?
Oh my.
How many?
Yeah, that's already
41.
Oh, 41.
Oh shoot.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was 22.
Everything was so
22. Wow. And sorry, Isabel, you were that was first year or grade 12 that you in like what year of education?
After my graduation.
After.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a fun summer, man. That's so nice. And Ate Michelle, you said you were 22. Was that like university time? Probably.
Leaving? I actually spent, I think I was there a little bit longer than 6 weeks, to be honest. Maybe, I don't know. Is that like a thing now where they've given you a time frame or?
Oh, sorry, I made a mistake. I think it was actually 3 weeks, but like I spent 6 weeks in the Philippines. Sorry,
earlier.
Oh, is that a thing now?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was actually thinking of staying there a little bit longer, so I had planned to spend a little bit more time there. Um, but then I came home and just decided to come back home, different path for myself. But I was gonna ask what any funny stories that you experienced that we can share with Margaret that you went through
Yes,
when you were back home.
please. Any
My God,
funny
I can't remember
stories?
anything right now. I think the chaperones were pretty fun. I mean, when they weren't being strict, they were always like clowning around, which was really fun. Um, Mama G, Isabel, were you with Mama or
Mama Renee?
no? Never mind. I don't know.
Your time was a different management.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I forgot there was a management change.
Yeah.
Oh no. Yeah. Yeah. I think the management was really funny. But yeah, I mostly I mean because I only speak English, which
You.
but
You understood Tagalog too?
I understand Tagalog, but I
Hindi lang.
can't like speak it fluently. Um,
Same.
um, but yeah, so I mostly like talk to the international girls, but my best friend from the pageant actually was from the Philippines. She's from Mindanao. Yeah, but yeah, we had really good times together.
You're all really lucky because now you have the technology where you can have like a translator on your app, where I never had that before, right?
Oh my gosh.
I actually had to make sure that I'm conversing with them, like I'm talking to them. But you could go on the apps, speak English, and then it'll just translate into Filipino for you.
Really, was it hard to communicate with the other girls?
No, I'm fluent.
Oh, you are.
Oh, lucky.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really good. Yeah. Fortunately, I mean, all of the girls they spoke English pretty well. There were only a few times where I had to ask, like let's say my roommates who spoke fluently, like, oh, can you translate what the chaperone said? Because when you yell at us, they would yell at us in Tagalog. I understood like 50% of what you said. But yeah, so it's just for me, it's kind of like broken. I understand at least like 50 to like 75% of Tagalog at least. But yeah, there's always a few words that I'm kind of like, what did they say?
Oh man, you have any interesting stories back home?
Pardon? Is that for me?
No, you haven't been there yet.
Oh, I know. I was like,
Or is
like,
Oh, interesting.
It's only the four of us.
Wait, something from Mutya? Or
Yeah.
like any funny stories?
No. Oh my gosh, I have so many. Oh
I was
man.
just there observing everything.
I guess like one funny story I have is that like it's because of my accent. All of the girls like from the Philippines,
Oh, okay.
they would always mimic me, and it's funny because there was Miss England and Miss Australia, and I would always like I love like Australian or like British accents, and I'd always like try to mimic them, but then because I guess like American movies are so big in the Philippines, like everyone wants to speak like an American. I mean, I'm Canadian, but like I guess the way I talk is kind of like Valley Girl. But like I was like all the Filipino girls, like they would always like talk to me because like I guess I'm like super talkative, I guess, and so like they would always talk to me and try to like they would literally tell me like I'm gonna speak exactly like you by the time this is over. And like, and like there was literally a Miss California.
oh, that's so sweet that they like, already confided in you at that point.
I have so many. Oh my gosh. One of the things that I did was they asked me to host Ginoong Pilipinas in the Philippines. So I am fluent. Like I can speak Tagalog fluently, but I can't read.
Oh.
I mean, I probably could, but it's going to take me a gazillion years because I gotta, so everything is on the prompter, right? So Filipinas is televised on the prompter. So I had to phonetically write out how it's going to sound because I can't read Filipino, so I gotta write it the way I'm gonna pronounce it. So they're putting it in the prompt and they're like, what language is this?
To make it work for you.
But it's the only way that I can actually host the show is to read it the way that it's supposed to be pronounced. Otherwise, I'm going to be, So I thought that was like really hilarious because they're putting in the prompt like, what is this? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And then I'm talking fluently, I'm like, magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat.
Wow.
So, Ginoong Pilipinas. And I'm reading it. I'm like, that's totally how it's not spelled.
Processing it.
Did you understand what was saying?
Yeah, because I can speak. I can't read, right? But the prompters, like they have scripts that you're supposed to say as a host. So I just have to write it the way I can say it. So that was kind of funny. Another one, we're doing a show because sometimes like you do gigs, you get to do gigs while you're in the Philippines and you get paid. So we went to do like an interview, and then I have to take the Nestle plunge. That's one of the paying gigs that we did, but I can't swim. So you're supposed to drink the Nestle and go and then plunge into the water, right? But so I've already signed the contract. I didn't really know what I was going to be doing because the contracts are all in Filipino. So like I said, I can't read, so I'm just like whatever. And then so I'm like, I can't take a Nestle plunge. I can't swim. So they're like, it's okay. As soon as you plunge in the water, we'll come catch you. I'm like, oh my God. So that was like another one. So definitely read what you're getting yourself into, Margaret. So
Yeah, we have like a schedule. I mean, we don't have like hour by hour schedules, but you'll have a good idea of what you're doing, like within.
And expect some changes to the schedule too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Last minute.
Always on your feet.
Yeah, last minute.
So those were after Michelle. Those were after show activities or after show like gigs, or were they prior?
They were prior to the pageant, so it's just kind of introducing a lot of the candidates. And I was really fortunate. I got a lot of opportunities to do things. I think it's just because I was from Canada, and I could speak both languages. That kind of really helped too.
Pardon, Juries?
Oh, I was asking Michelle if you, like how many international girls were there other than
I think I was the only one.
Oh, really?
Wow.
It was big back then. I have to look back, but I doubt it. I think Edgar's not here. But yeah, now it's getting a little bit more popular, right? But 26 years ago, it wasn't really like that. I think it was just someone from the States or someone from Canada.
Did you represent Canada or somewhere in the Philippines?
Canada. Yeah. Just trying to think if I got into anything. Yeah, the Gnome was pretty funny. The Nestle plunge was pretty funny too.
I just had a memory, if it's okay to share it.
Yeah.
So you know how like on the final night, the final big night, like there's supposed to be a celebrity host. So Richard Gutierrez was actually the host. Yeah. And I remember, oh my God, oh, he's so handsome. And like, I remember like sitting like in the auditorium, we're just rehearsing. And I was like sitting like with my friends. And then Miss Sabu, she comes behind me, she's like, oh my God, he's right there, like my husband. And she's like low-key freaking out. And I was like, who? And I'm looking around and I see him like standing on the stage like an angel. And I honestly, I got so starstruck. And I was like looking at him and I was like, oh my gosh. And so like all the girls are like, they're like gossiping and just like, being super giddy. And I don't know what came over me, but I was like, I need to say hi. Like I need to talk to him. And I was so lucky because we had to go up on stage to rehearse again, and he was the one, introducing us. And so we're all walking in a line, and none of the girls are even giving him eye contact.
They're shy.
They're shy. And I was really looking at him like an angel. Like I could hear like the chorus, like, oh, like he's so handsome. And then yes, we're all walking by him, and then I got so nervous, and his back wasn't turned to me. I was kind of facing this way, and he was like to the side, and I kind of just tapped him on the shoulder, and I said, "Hi, I'm Therese. I represent Canada, and my mom's a really big fan of yours." I was so awkward, and I literally said, "My mom's a huge fan of yours." I didn't even say I was a huge fan of yours. I want to be cool, but I probably looked like such a loser to him.
Oh my
The
gosh.
bravery. Imagine if you didn't. You would have just been rich that day. Oh my god, it's amazing.
I thought I blacked it out of my memory because it was pretty traumatic, but it just came back, and now I'm like embarrassed all over again. So.
Interesting. So it was like, so sorry. He was hosting like a segment, or
No, the whole show.
oh my god.
Yeah. He had the opening.
Mm-hmm.
It was him and RC Munoz. I'm not 100%. I don't remember the women, but I remember him. Yeah, I remember him.
Were there like other officials or other actors and actresses that you guys got to see?
There was this band. I don't remember their name exactly, but they were pretty. It was like a really young band, like a teenage band, who did a live performance during our. I believe it was our swimsuit portion or our evening gown portion, where there was like a live band, and it was really fun. Oh wait, no, sorry, I made a mistake. There was a DJ playing. We played a Rihanna song while we did our swimsuit segment, and then the band was for the evening gown, which was so fun. That was such a good time. But I forgot the band, but they were pretty. I think they were kind of famous. Yeah.
I want to go so bad.
Sorry.
Well,
We have to manifest it.
I know.
Go away.
I'm so grateful to be in the show right now. But I was gonna ask about the. Let me have my notes here. Don't look at that.
Oh.
But my notes about what was it? The individual portions. So you said that there was the swimsuit one, and how was that? Like, were there a bunch of people rushing in the back, or did you have to do makeup yourself, or were there like the chaperones ordering you where to go, or were you just like alone and just follow through?
You'd be wearing the same makeup throughout the time.
Yeah, they might touch it up, but
The only
Okay.
time that you have to change your makeup is really the retouching.
yeah.
Wow.
And you just have to rush in and out to change from evening gown to swimsuit.
Oh my goodness! I can just imagine the back.
Very hectic.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And so there were people taking care of you. And I was gonna ask about the chaperones. Like, did they have to take care of like a group of girls at once, or you have like your own individual?
They have to take a group of girls at once.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, for mine, I think there was 30 girls, and we were divided into 3. So technically, there was this chaperone for like groups of 10, but yeah, everyone just chaperoned like all the girls.
Yeah. Same.
So how were the outfits? Because I know that Isabel, you worked with Mama Renee last year. I remember that. Oh, it was so nice. I was keeping updates. I'm like, whoa! Each outfit slaying it, the look each time. But so how was your experience with the designers that you guys worked with?
For me, okay, Mama Renee wasn't among any of the sponsored designers that Lucia Filipinas already had for the contestants, so mine was different. So I went to her designer shop myself to get measurements done and everything. And then during the times when we needed a dress, of course, the dress will be delivered to the area where I was. Yeah.
I had Mama Renee too, and so the same thing. I had to go to the shop, and he had such beautiful designs. I always love wearing his clothes. So I had a really fun time. It's kind of like it was a nice ball gown with like lots of like the Cinderella. You know how it's tight on the top and then just really out on the bottom. It was so beautiful,
I'm gonna have to search up the pictures.
amazing.
Mine was like a mermaid.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no. I have to check
A
the
silver mermaid.
Hmm.
Injuries. Who did you work with?
So for the opening number, Mama Renee made like these. The theme was they were aiming for a Victoria's Secret type theme for the opening number. It was pretty cool, yeah. So the opening theme was like a one-piece bathing suit, and mine was pink, and then there was this cage-like harness. It was like a backpack. Yeah. And then mine had like little Hello Kitties glued to it. There were other designs too. I think there were wings as well. But yeah, that was one
secret.
Right, you're right.
Yeah, my year they really wanted to be super different, but for the gown and turno, I didn't have a personal designer. I was not prepared for that. I assumed that like everything was going to be provided to us, so I had to get automatically assigned like a random designer. And so my turno dress I love. I still wear it sometimes. You know the big blue one? I don't know if you know, Maggie.
The blue.
Big blue. It's
There's
it's blue and white, and it's huge. It's a huge gown.
I've probably seen it, but
Yeah, that one. That's a really yeah. I still wear that, and I also have a few other gowns from him. And then for my evening gown, I honestly got the gown literally the day before.
oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Wow.
that was so stressful because all the girls they already had their gowns, and I'm not okay. I know I'm not fat, but like the designers, they thought I was, so they didn't have any gowns that fit me at the time. So so I had to get like a random dress, and it was so tight, and
it was suited, like altered for your body.
It was on the day of the pageant competition.
Sorry?
It was on the day of the pageant.
Literally like 12 hours before the pageant. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
My heart's racing thinking
I
about
know.
I got weighed every day and had to maintain a 110 weight.
How tall is
you?
Yeah.
How tall are you?
5'4".
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh. So I was thinking
5'11".
Oh yeah. I remember your name was
Honestly,
everywhere. Tallest of the bunch.
My body fat distribution is different from like a lot of girls when I was there.
Right.
But even before I was there, I was working out already. I was eating regularly, but when I got there, my body was enough for their standards. So of course I had to be in a diet where I have to eat the same thing every day. And of course it wasn't healthy, but it got me somewhere.
Yeah, I had to do that too.
That's strict.
What kind of diet did you do?
I didn't choose my meals.
You didn't choose your meals?
I wasn't really on a diet, but I cut the carbs a lot. But it's weird because I think because I was so stressed every day, I'm the type of person who loses weight when they stress. So I actually like from the beginning of the 3 weeks to the end of 3 weeks, I believe I lost around like 10 pounds or 6.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So
For
by
me,
the
I felt like
time,
20.
so
For me, I felt like I lost 20 pounds.
oh wow.
Like,
Yeah.
or you did.
Yeah.
I just
Okay.
maintain because I love the food.
It's okay.
Philippines, it's authentic.
As long as I maintain the weight, I was like, yes.
Wow.
Because it's so much food
Training.
that you get invited to go out and eat all the time, and you're constantly eating out, meeting different politicians or different people, reporters or whatever. So you're constantly eating, and that's the hard part, right?
To
And
actually
they
take
sponsor foods
lunches.
too.
Pardon?
Mhm.
They were sponsor foods too.
Yeah.
Oh man, Goldilocks. I just thought of that. But in terms of training, Jury, so you said you got your dress like very last minute. Did you even get to practice in the dress, to walk? Because I know that's crucial, right?
Yeah, so I got the dress around the evening before the finals, and then I got to practice in it the morning of.
Okay. That's a
Yeah.
little bit of practice, but not muscle memory. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but it was okay. It wasn't too long or anything. So yeah, it was good. I was pretty lucky, even though I was super stressed about it.
Of course. But I think Jerice, you and I were at one of IPEN shows, and then we just had a little bit of time before the stage, and you were showing me some of the training from Mutia. It was oh my gosh, I remember that. So I was like, that's like a really intense workout.
Yeah, it was so intense.
Especially in heels. So I was wondering how each of you guys experienced with like the physical training and with like the walking training. How was that? Were there like teams that were teaching you, or?
I think for me, because a lot of the clothes I didn't bring from Canada, they were sponsored from someone in the Philippines. So the shoes always have to match the dress or the gown that you're wearing, right? And so they're always going to be new shoes. Like it's not going to be the ones that you are with, right? Because I'm not bringing all the colors in my suitcase, right? So I always had to take the bottom of the shoe and kind of scratch it on like a brick or something harsh because I don't want the bottoms of the heels smooth, right? It's hard to walk if it's too smooth. Like I want it a little bit rough. So that's usually what I do to kind of help me. I can't break in. And I try to wear the shoes all day before I have to actually wear it with the dress because it's so painful when it's new. Right? So I'm always like trying to like work it in a little bit, but definitely scrubbing the bottom to make it rough so you're not slipping.
Oh my god!
Right? Because if it's so new, it's too smooth. Disaster.
The shoes that I used while I was there, they were sponsor shoes, Gibby shoes, and they were much comfortable than for guys and what's it? Chinese laundry, in my opinion, because they
Really?
were natural shoes. Yeah, and I brought, I think, 11 pairs of heels.
You brought?
Me too.
Yes.
And you only wear one, right?
I only wore 3.
Suitcases going crazy.
And not even that, I brought 2 luggages of clothes and 1 whole luggage for dresses that I barely use. Yeah.
Wow. all that space. But I mean, it's better safe than to pass.
So Margaret, note to self, don't bring 11 shoes because I mean, you don't know what you're going to be wearing and it's impossible to have all the shoes that you bring that's going to match.
Oh, that's important too.
Yeah.
So,
and especially since you're going to be representing the designer when you're wearing their outfit, they want everything solid. Like they don't want it. They want to make sure that everything looks good from the earrings to what you're wearing down to your feet.
Very uniform. Let's see.
Yeah.
I don't know when, but I'm excited. Oh my gosh. Let's see. So, here. So I was talking about the training in the Philippines while you were there. So prior, how did IPEN's training help? Were there like communication practice, physical walking practice, some routines that you guys got to learn? Because I know that while I'm in IPEN right now, we do have our own walks, and we practice our presenting and our communication here. But I was wondering how you guys had it prior to the show or competition.
Well, before I went to the Philippines, I was at Canada for a bit for a little training, but I brought it to the Philippines, and I was able to continue what I had in mind from the time I had the training I had for Teenverse as well, and I was just kind of winging it at the same time. Yeah, and also I also trained with Aces and Queens.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've heard of that.
Oh, you trained with
The
Aces
other
and Queens?
contestants.
I trained with KF.
Yeah, the other
Oh,
contestants.
Kagandahan Flores.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Cool. Wow. I didn't know you trained with Aces and Queens. That's cool.
So did you get to choose that, Isabella and Jerice?
Tito Edgar was the one who recommended me to KF basically. But I know that Mama Renee, I believe they scouted you, right, Isabel?
And they just allowed me to use their room
Oh.
for a few days. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
We didn't have any of that back then.
You're on your own. Let's go. Wow.
But it's okay, you learn on the way. They still taught us how to walk and stuff still, even not because even though I learned before, about a week before, they still taught us the specific poses and like how to walk and like where to stop and where to put your face, like during training, like during the actual pageant.
And also, KF was there, I think, one day to teach the contestants how to walk too. So you're gonna have some training too. If you, Margaret, just competed next year. Yeah.
I'm hoping. Wow. So that is time prior. So Jerice, when you went to the Philippines a few weeks earlier, were you in communication with some of the people, or were you just there like for family, or how was it?
Yeah, honestly, I didn't meet any of the girls until training basically.
Wow.
So with KF, there were a few. I think there were about like 15 girls who were also in KF, but I only met a few international girls beforehand, and like a few of the national girls. But yeah, so yeah, I literally didn't meet them until I got to the Philippines.
Oh my gosh, that's like a big overload of people that you
really
interact with. So how did you feel with that, with having to portray yourself as like perfect pageant girl, but also wanting to be authentic in that sense? And like it applies to you, to everyone.
Well, honestly, I was really nervous at first because I was in a place that I didn't know. My tita, thankfully, she lived around where we did practices and the nurses and stuff. So she kind of dropped me off there, and then I was on my own, and I didn't know what to do. Like I wasn't really sure how to communicate with other people at first, but honestly, I think like the best. It sounds cliche, but just be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know you're super nice and super kind. I love you. And literally being yourself, you're so genuine. You're so genuinely nice, so genuinely like welcoming. I'm sure it'll be so easy for you to make friends.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
I had a very So all of the Mucha contestants, when we arrived, we're all staying at Silu Hotel because that's the sponsored hotel for us. So as soon as you arrive, you'll say, "Welcome, Mucha na Filipinas candidates." And then you all walk in. Everyone has their own room, and then your chaperone, because like you said, they're responsible for a few candidates, right? So everyone's in the same floor just so that they have easy access to them. My chaperone actually had my room key so that it didn't enable me to go in and out of my room. Uh, and then the other thing too is that we were not allowed to leave. So back then, if you wanted to go to, let's say, the gift shop or go down to the lobby, every time you leave your room, you have to wear your sash because you're staying at the hotel and they're sponsoring you. So you can never leave your room without your sash, even if you're just going down the lobby. My family was not allowed to go in my room. I have to always meet them out in the lobby as well.
Yeah.
And then, so that I don't know if it's still like that, but that's the way that it was when I was there. So it was very controlled.
I see.
I had a similar experience, but we had a little bit more freedom. We were allowed around the hotel floor and into other girls' rooms. We couldn't leave the hotel though. There was a Jollibee right next door, and we weren't allowed to even step outside the lobby, or else security, security knew who we were. So if they saw one of us leaving, they would report it. But we had one lucky day where I think we had about 4 hours of free time, and the hotel was literally like a 2-minute walk from MOA. I don't know if it was the Mall of Asia.
Yes.
Mall of Asia.
Oh, I can't even. I swear I've only explored like 1/16 of that place.
Yeah, it's so big. Yeah, I was so grateful for that, and we got to eat outside food.
Wow. So, Drew, you here with your family? Oh, sorry, interrupted.
Oh no, actually with the girls, like all the girls were allowed to. Yeah, we had 4 hours, like literally 4 hours. We had to. I think it was from 4 to 8. So from 4 o'clock to 8 o'clock, we were allowed to go anywhere. I mean, only to the mall. And then we had to be back at the hotel 8 o'clock sharp. So that was.
Gosh, the girls strutting in and everything. Ooh. Sorry, Isabel, you were gonna say something?
Yeah, I remember. I think the director allowed us to be with her family or do whatever for one day. It's just that we have to be back there by 8
Whole day?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Oh, I think I had that too. I did have that.
Yeah.
That's nice. A day, but it's a nice time to have a break. Because I was thinking, if you have a roommate, you can't have like your own me time just to like focus in, like let's go, like have pep talks, have like a little cry session of just of that personal growth, just
Yeah.
moment. So I'm thinking only that.
Well, there is the bathroom.
Yes, in the bathroom.
The shower. It's like, come on, give me the strength. Oh my gosh. That's so interesting. So with that, so what was your biggest personal accomplishment other than I won Miss Friendship or I won best in talent or this top place? What was your personal achievement that you can say that you really gained from the experience?
For me personally, sorry, I interrupted you. Do you want to go?
Okay. Aside from the responsibility and the discipline, I was literally outside of the box when it comes to me being in stage because, like, I got to admit, I'm pretty introverted. I'm proud to say that because, like, what's wrong with being introverted? But anyway, yeah. What was this? The press presentation? That was the first time I was talking right in front of, like, a lot of cameras.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
cameras! I didn't even think of
introducing
that.
myself and until the point where I just like my brain just blanked out for a bit. But I continue on and then like walk back
was bad.
with confidence. It's okay. And what is this? On the day of the evening competition where I was on stage, to be called for the question and answer part for the top 12, my heart was beating so fast when I was walking up there and being next to Mateo Guricelli.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh my god! I'm so
Yeah, it was
sorry.
interesting.
Wow.
I remember, like, there
Was
was a
he
lot
the
of
host? Sorry.
yeah, no.
Or did you go
I
to the
I think
restaurant?
he was one of the hosts.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, I
I'm
remember
sorry, continue.
he was like the shorter was that tall.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was taller.
No.
My girl's 5'11" plus heels.
Horn heels.
Yeah, that time, I answered my question and then like just walked back where I was.
So with your
Yeah.
question, this stuff gets my heart beating. Oh.
It has to do with intersectionality. That's what I remembered.
Wow.
Oh, I remember that. I remember
Yeah.
that. Yeah, that must have been so nerve-wracking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh my god. But you looked good. You looked amazing.
I remember that. Yes. So after Michelle and after Jerice, you guys had questions too, or and like press experience in front of all the cameras. Like, how did you feel and how did you like, boss out
What you learned most?
Pardon?
I thought your question was what you learned most.
Oh, there's that too. Okay, I'm getting excited.
Okay.
So yes, what did you learn the most and your own personal achievement?
I forgot.
Who? Wait, what?
Sorry.
I actually the year that I won was my first time joining pageants. I never joined pageants before, and I was a little bit of a tomboy. I was always wearing like Doc Martens, Timberlands, Converse. I'm always in a hoodie. My hair's up in a bun. So I think it was a really great experience for me because I got to learn how, to kind of present myself in a different way. I think that's probably the biggest thing. Because before that, my friends, and I remember I joined when I was 22. So imagine, like, I'm always a little bit on the rugged side, and every time I'm going out with my friends to go to clubs and bars prior to joining the pageants, I'm always going to their place, dressed kind of tomboyish, and then I'm changing into their clothes, and then she's doing my makeup and my hair. So it was nice to kind of go through that experience. It's probably why my parents actually enrolled me now that I think back, just to kind of, they're probably getting worried. But I think that's probably the biggest growth experience that I had from that day was just to kind of strip down from how I normally dress and take on a different look.
Mm-hmm.
That's important.
Yeah.
Like for me, like back home, I don't put on makeup. I would wear a t-shirt. I would wear shorts. I would wear whatever that makes me feel free. And whenever I hang out with my friends, I would just, I don't know, like be myself that time, because I'm more of a listener than when I talk. But the pageant just pushes you out of your comfort zone.
That's so true.
It really does.
Mm-hmm.
Jerice.
Okay. For me, one thing I've really taken from the pageant, since it was my first ever like international pageant, there were people from all over. So I believe there were about 8 international girls, like Japan, Britain, Australia, California. Like there was a girl from Norway, and then all over the Philippines as well. And I wouldn't say maybe I was closed-minded, but I just thought that if people didn't like fit in, they were weird. I don't know. I just had this like really closed-minded mentality, which is super negative about the world. But ever since that pageant, it really opened my mind, and it really helped me understand that like the world doesn't revolve around me. Like not everyone is like you. So it really helped me understand that just because like someone's not like you doesn't make them like weird or a bad person. But yeah, like so that really helped me understand and become, I guess, more woke around like social justice issues and like racism and stuff like that. Because just because someone's different thing doesn't mean that it's bad, you know? So, and especially since that it was such a culture shock for me, like living in Canada, it's such a privilege. And then going to the Philippines and seeing how differently people live, and you can really see the the contrast of like wealth, especially if you go to like let's say Makati, you'll see like the beautiful high-rise condos, and then you see like the slums and like literally this you could put your hand like this and you can see everything. You can see both. It's
Wow.
the contrast is. So you're gonna be in for a huge uh culture shock as well. So yeah, just I always keep my mind open now. So like no matter where you're from, I always accept. Yeah. So that's I believe that's one of my favorite things that I've taken away from this pageant.
That's amazing to
Yeah.
that. It becomes like a big picture point of view instead of like, oh, I'm in this pageant, let me go win, let me get this and that. It's sort of like you have gained so much more in other aspects within your own personal growth and the way that you see the world. And I don't know what other experience you could have that would let you open your mind and your heart up like that. But I don't know, that's beautiful. And I'm so happy that you went through that and you shared that with me, because now that I can see things in that type of perspective as well.
Yeah.
Even in Canada, right?
Yeah, I always tell myself that every single person has a different experience than you. So you should never judge people. So that's I think that's probably the best thing I've ever taken from any pageant actually.
Make sure you don't. Okay, for me, my mindset was I didn't get the competition too much inside my head. Otherwise, I would ruin the relationship I had with the contestants back then.
Wow.
Because otherwise, then
Yeah.
you wouldn't be cool or actually nice to the
Yeah,
people there.
it's funny. Yeah, that's so true, because at the beginning, when we first all met each other, I believe the first time we all met, all 30 of us, we were in this room for a photo shoot, and all the girls, they were just like separated, not talking to each other. And, like everyone was like had a little like cold shoulder towards everyone. But as the weeks went by, everyone became friends. I just think that the first impressions might have been to be like, I'm here for the competition and the competition only.
Yeah.
But it's so important to make friends. It's so
important. That's what I'm excited about too. And I realized within like the competitions that I've done, though like they're not big and like super crazy international, I've done one in Toronto and one with IPEN. And that's when I definitely realized your biggest competitor is yourself, and you have to improve on your own. You can't say, oh, this person is better in walking or in this than me, so I'm going to copy them, because then what? You're on the same level as them. Why not improve yourself and just reach limits that you haven't reached before? And I think when you put that aside, like that's what I'm seeing from what you guys are telling me of like, still make friends and don't let that cold exterior stop you from really enjoying the competition and just working on yourself. That would really you would gain more out of it than, oh, I'm better than that person, because there's always going to be someone better than that person, and it's just going to be that whole cycle. But, yeah.
It's a great journey to experience, and again, like 26 years later, I'm still utilizing all the skills and the knowledge that I learned, right? So at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, because you may not, I mean, I don't really speak to any of the girls that I was with, but there is like like the Facebook group chat, and so we can kind of see what each other's doing. But also, when you're an alumni like this, I can spend some time with you ladies 26 years later. You kind of just build that common sisterhood, right? So
yes. Oh.
So hopefully, 26 years later, you can pay it forward too to someone else.
Oh,
Hi.
I think he's back.
Hello.
Hi.
All the lights.
I'm back. Yeah.
Downtown in so long. But no, that was cool. Everyone's experience and on personal growth. That's what I found was important and what I wanted to hear the most, or what I found was most important to me as well. So I don't know how much time we have, because I have another question. Other than there's the other question that I had about the press conferences and interviews.
Mm-hmm.
How was that? Were there any questions that like you just really couldn't answer, or the personal or the competition questions? Like, how were those when you were up on stage? Because I know Isabel, they had your press conference and they had the question up on stage, right?
Yeah, pretty much when I was up there in the press presentation, all you just had to do is introduce yourself. And in between the press and the evening competition, you will see other interviewers who would randomly come up to you and ask questions. Literally any questions. It would be about the environment in the Philippines, so they would expect that you'd know something about the Philippines, your experience so far, and like more specific stuff about you.
Mm-hmm.
I think back when I was in the pageant, because I was the only foreigner and a lot of them were local from the Philippines, there was a lot of my questions were really geared towards Canada. So as an example, one question that was really asked of me was, coming from the Western world, and now that you've spent some time in the Philippines, what would be something that you would bring from Canada to Philippines to make it better?
Wow.
And I said, ATMs. There's no ATMs. I can't buy anything. Right. So, I mean, now you have ATMs everywhere, but think about 6 years ago, it was so difficult to have ATM machines readily available. It's not like you can tap and go, and, none of that stuff actually existed. So it's so hard for me to buy anything when I was back home. So that was one of the things that I said, what I would definitely bring back from the Western world is ATMs. Yeah.
It's a good one.
I didn't think of it like that, literally. That's amazing. And Dries, your experience with press and interviews, how was it?
To be honest, I like my first press conference when we introduced ourselves, I got so nervous. It was the first time I was ever in front of a camera like that, and I knew that it was live TV, and I don't know, I just choked. And I remember doing my my introduction, and I believe I pronounced my last name wrong or something like that. Edgar, I forgot. Tito Edgar was there, and I think I said like, Dries and Carter, like, live down in Canada or whatever. And then you had to say something else after that, like your advocacy or whatever. And I don't know, I just messed up, and then I literally just stopped talking and then walked away.
Oh my gosh, I can't imagine.
Just
you wanted to perfect it. I understand your stress in that. I've done that before too. Ooh, I want to think about it. I just turned inside out.
I didn't really have a lot of reporters coming up to me and asking me questions. So yeah, I had a different experience than Michelle and Isabel. It was fun. I had a good time.
And after the press con juries, a lot of people came to you to have picture with you.
Oh yeah, of course.
And those are the pictures who don't know you. Those are the people who don't know you.
Yeah, like people were taking pictures with everyone. But yeah, thankfully no one asked me to like any questions, because I was just so embarrassed about what happened on live television.
Okay. You've done way better. I've seen your Miss World. It was your Miss World Ontario? I think there was that one. I don't know. I've just seen that you've grown so much more as a person. That's just it's a little milestone, but just your growth from then that already like tops it number one. Like it's not even a thing to even be worried about. It's just something to laugh about. But,
yeah, honestly, yeah, I laugh about it.
But I think the first time I experienced that type of feeling of, oh my goodness, there's a crowd, like they're listening to me, other than just school presentations, that's nothing. Like you've seen your friends and stuff like that. I think it was when I was competing for IPEN's PhilCan Mosaic Queen. I think that was like my first time back in like 20. Right, it was just like I've only seen you guys taking your pictures. I'm like, look at them, they look so good. I want to take a picture with them. But so I think one of my questions was from Talon, and I was up on stage still representing with Miss Manila, and I haven't been too integrated with IPEN just yet. And I think my question was on stage at Nathan Phillips Square. There was actually a crowd there. I'm like, oh boy, let's just not look at anyone. Let me just look past the crowd. But I understand like your expression that is like wanting to be authentic and wanting to be your best self in that moment. I think my question was about if you were to become Toronto mayor tomorrow or something like that, would be the first topic you would talk about or you would tackle. And in that moment, of course, there were just so many things coming at once. But in that moment, and what I'm still like passionate about is homelessness in Toronto, and just remembering that it came naturally to me to talk about is that's what I should continue doing. Just don't be fake and don't attach yourself to an advocacy that you don't know too much on or you aren't incredibly passionate about, or else it just won't come out right. And that's what I've seen. It's I know people can sort of see through that fake like authenticity. So in that moment, I realized that they're here for me, and I'm just gonna give me. And I've noticed that with all three of you, of just being like your full authentic selves, and I can ask you guys anything that you guys bounce off of me. And I'm so grateful to have a group and like my ates out here. But learning from my ates, to Edgar, rooting me on and keeping me updated with what's gonna happen.
The newest Ate Michelle.
I was like fangirling. People sent me the
No, I said, you're an alumni for life, right? So we have a common bond. Doesn't matter the years. It's a common experience.
Right. And it's one that puts you through hardship. So those are always the best ones to bond over. Wow. But I'm so grateful for this call, for this Mutia segment.
Me too.
Yeah, I've been looking at all the chats. Hello, everyone on the chat.
I've been reading it.
I know. I'm like, I'm listening to you and I'm looking at the chat. So, magandang gabi, magandang umaga, magandang hapon.
Mama Rene can be watching us.
Mama Renee, when COVID is done, come back, please. Oh, and Mama Renee's masks. I know that
It's coming next week.
next week. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I want one.
Yeah, okay. It will be sent on Friday. So after 5 days, we'll get it.
Cute.
So I guess we have to say goodbye now, and we'd like to see everybody after maybe in 2 weeks. We could have a picnic. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that would be nice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I don't know if I can be there.
Here's a girl, US. We'll FaceTime, don't worry.
Yes.
Ate Michelle, where are you located? Are you here in
Oh
Toronto?
my gosh, I'm 2 hours away from Toronto. That's why it's so hard for me to come.
I thought you were in Mississauga.
No, I moved 3 years ago.
Where?
Yeah, let's just tell the world.
Oh, sorry. Online.
Stalker.
2 hours away. It's okay.
Just 2 hours.
Either we'll come up to you or
I'm so sorry, Michelle. Where?
It's so funny this morning. But I'm excited. 2 weeks. Calm down.
I'm so excited.
Right.
Yeah, I'll keep everybody posted about the date. We'll pick a day that is very good for picnic. Yung hindi uulan. At hindi ko
Oh my
kulog.
gosh, right, so Tito, it won't be at Nathan Phillips Square. Do you know if practice is allowed on stage or still not yet?
We cannot use the stage. There's still barricade, but we could use the grounds like we used to do.
Mm.
Okay, this is the stage right now.
Yes. I miss it.
Oh.
Don't you miss the place?
Right? Oh, I see the barricades, yes.
Wow, it's so empty.
It's been a while.
I've never
Yes.
Never seen it like that.
It's been like this for the past 6 months.
That's crazy.
We'll be back.
Oh.
We manifest it. But yeah. A good evening with the girls.
Mhm.
So we have to say goodbye now. We start with Isabel going down.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for watching us, and hope you stay safe, stay home, and whenever you go out, make sure you social distancing and always wear a mask, or at least bring it, okay? Very important at this time. We're gonna wait for those vaccines to come out, whenever that is.
Mhm. Okay, I'll go next. Bye, everyone. It was so great to meet you and spend the hour with all of you. And hello again to everyone in the chat. Goodbye to everyone in the chat. Stay safe and healthy, and hope to see you again soon.
Bye, everyone. Hope you guys stay safe. It was so fun talking to you guys. I hope I do this again, guys.
Thank you, ladies, number one, and Tito for giving me this opportunity to learn and to really put myself in your shoes and to just be excited for my future experiences and to just see me all excited. I'm just gushing. But thank you guys for watching and for commenting and for sharing our live stream. Please stay tuned for the next one. And we'll see you then. And to all the IPEN ladies and families out there, I miss you guys so much, and I'll most likely see you soon. Okay.
Okay, thank you, ladies.
Bye.
Bye.
See you again very soon, and thanks
Yes.
everybody for watching.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.